Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen, live on Neeves Knives. How's everybody doing tonight? Hopefully all is well. We got some topics we're going to talk about tonight. Let's get it. Shane, I'll message you right after this is over with. Right now, I've been carrying the Null Voodoo all day. Yeah, man, it's a good one. Definitely a good one. The one that I'm looking at the most is the brown micarta one. That one just draws my attention more. I think if the fat carbon, which don't get me wrong, this whole makeup looks beautiful. It looks like a race car. But I think if the fat carbon would have been a color, I might pick that. But since it's not, that brown micarta, man, it looks so damn sweet. So sweet. Now, I know people are wondering the OEM. I am going to do a review on this, a full review, do some testing on it. Now, they're not allowed to disclose the OEM, and I'm sure if you thought about it hard enough, you would know which OEM that is that companies deal with, and when they're the OEM, they make them, sign a disclosure or whatever. So I'm sure you guys can figure that out. It feels like it too. So micarta over carbon fiber all day. Yeah, I agree for the most part, but the times when I'll pick carbon fiber over micarta, there's two times. Well, you could say 3 times, but when it's cross-cut, that's one. It's when it's well done cross-cut, side cut. I love side cut carbon fiber. The next is if it's a nice color, fat carbon, and it pops with the knife. Doesn't always work. In many cases, the micarta looks better in my opinion. But the next reason is like if it's a unique type, because there's so many different things they can do with carbon fiber. So when it's unique and I have plenty of micarta, and I don't have any of that, then maybe I'll pick it because I like having, some of the new stuff. I didn't used to be that way. But then after you have so much micarta, like I used to be all tie all day. Like that was my thing. I don't care about it. Just give me all tie. I want it full tie. Then after you get so many full ties, and it's like, well, maybe I could do a little anodizing, Then maybe I'll try a little micarta. And then I went down the micarta rabbit hole because I love micarta. It's actually kind of hard. Like if you were going to ask me like your favorite knife in the world or like your imaginary favorite knife in the world, is it full tie or does it have micarta? Oh, man. I don't even know which one I'd pick. That'd be tough. Very, very tough. So I have a stone here. I haven't unboxed it yet. It's, I know what stone it is because I ordered it. So we're going to just open it up real quick, check it out. I can't remember if I ordered all 3 or just 1, but I do have them linked down in the description. And we're going to talk a little bit about them. Did I order 1 or 3? Still can't tell. These things are so big. It must be 1 because it's, yeah. So these things are heavy. Because they're diamond plates. It's on a steel plate. And these are the ones I recommend the most. I always get comments asking me what diamond plate are you using, regardless of which one I'm using. This is the one I always recommend the most. Now, Atoma diamond plate is usually the one you see me working on, usually. But that's because it's a 140 Atoma. I did not link it down in the description. I can if anybody wants one, but I did link ultra sharp. I linked all kinds of them. You just got to click the link and you'll see a whole bunch of them. 3-packs, single packs, dual packs. For 3 of these, the big daddies, the 3x8s, $138 for a 300, a 600, and 1200. You can't beat that. Now for the 2x6s, the ones that are like this big, it's $51. Like you can't beat that. That is amazing. Now, yeah, there's cheaper diamond plates out there, but they're shit. They really are shit. They're not all diamond plates are made the same. A lot of them, they wear out so fast, like so fast. These ones hold up really well. They work really well. They're perfectly flat. They're affordable. And this is the 300 because, okay, so my Atoma, back to my Atoma. My Atoma is a 140. Now that is hyper aggressive. Like, it's on the verge of being too aggressive for most people when you first get it. Now, I always advocate for people to get the coarsest stone you possibly can. And that, in my opinion, that's the coarsest stone I can find for that size, for this big of a stone. Let me just leave this out. For this big of a stone, the Atoma 140 is the coarsest I can find. Now, the thing with the Atomas is that they're so aggressive, and they don't have, like, they're not just spread out, or they're not just like random diamonds on the surface. They're actually in a pattern. They're really good. I mean, I love Atomas. Absolutely love them, but they do wear out. Not wear out, wear in. So my 140 is like 300 grit now. So it's basically the same grit as this now, and when this one's brand new. Now, all diamond plates wear in, just like this one will wear into about 400 grit. The Atomas seem to wear in a bit more. I don't know if it's the pattern that they have on it, or if they're diamonds, because they're clusters. Let me be clear. It's little clusters of diamonds. So now this is just diamonds spread out. The Atomas have little tiny clusters all over it. And I don't know if it's because of the clusters or what, but they break in pretty quick. When you first get them, they're a 140. After about 10, 15, 20 sharpenings, they go into, like, about 200 grit. And then over a couple months of sharpening, they wind up being like a 300 grit. And then they stay about a 300 grit for a good time. Now, the other thing that's really good about the Atomas is you can actually remove the top layer off, and buy just a new slap-on layer. But that's the most expensive part. So anyways, here is my 300 grit ultra sharp diamond plate. I love these stones. Like I said, these are super affordable for the DMTs, the like real DMTs. It's $200, I think, for 4 plates like this. Now you can get the 3 plates like this for $131. I think they used to be even more than that. But I'm not positive. I think they were $250. They might be going up again. But this is the thing, is that I've talked to lots of other people that have had these experiences where theirs isn't perfectly flat. It has some imperfections, things like that. These, from my experience, have came perfect every single time, perfectly flat. They're great plates. And like I said, they do last a good while. So I got this because my my other ones are starting to wear out. My 140, this will probably be even more aggressive than my 140 at the moment because it's brand new. But after I use it 2 or 3 times, because these basically, like, they show up a little bit more aggressive than 300. So it's probably like more like a 200, 250 right now. After I use it a few times, it'll break into a 300. Braze is in here. About time. Late as usual. Alice says, did you see the picture on Instagram DM for the Tennessee knife meetup I sent you yesterday? I don't think I did. No, I don't. You sent it to me through DM? I thought I checked my DMs. Let me just double check. Send it to me again, because I don't got it. No, I did not get it. So send it to me again, please. And thank you, by the way. Joe says, I've got a shitty diamond plate leveling for a grinder stand, missing a caster because it's only good at not vibrating out from under it. I was gonna say, also, like, with the diamond plates, man, they're so versatile. You can use them for so many different things. I wasn't thinking of like weird stuff, but I suppose you could. I use plates to eat food. You know what? I was actually going to make that a subject for tonight. And follow along with me, right? Follow along, because I know it's like it'd be like a conspiracy, but just follow me. So, knives and plates, right? Like we have chef knives, right? You go to the store, you get yourself some chef knives, you get a block, you get your chef knives. Now they come sharp, you know, factory sharp. Really not that sharp, but you know, they come from the factory sharpened. And then what else do you get? You get your plates, all your stuff. What are your plates made out of? The worst thing for that knife. So when you have your steak, you're going to cut it up on a ceramic plate, which is going to destroy your edge the second you use it. Now, if you're the type of person that wants to sharpen your knife, you're going to sharpen it up, use it again. It's going to go dull immediately because it's ceramic. It's just going to dull anything. And it almost makes it seem like it's like counterproductive in order for you to go through knives fast and have to replace them fast. Or because you can't tell me that there's not another material that they can make plates out of that are like just as good. I don't know. But it just makes me think about it. Like, why do we use the one thing that destroys? Like, I know they're easy to clean and all that good stuff. You know, they stay good for a long time, but I don't know. It's just weird. Now, I think people that know tend not to do that. They tend to cut it up either on something else before it goes on the plate, or possibly just cut it up in a fashion that makes it to where their knives don't scrape the plate. Like, I would never take one of my fresh edges and put it on a ceramic plate and just grind it, unless it was on purpose before I went to sharpen it or something. But as far as chef knives, I know usually they're cheap knives and they don't really matter anyways. But if I just freshly sharpened one of the kitchen knives, I'm not about to put it on a ceramic plate. So why, if I didn't know how to sharpen, why would I take a fresh factory knife and do it? For that exact reason, I like to slice my steaks on a butcher block, then plate them, just like I just said. Yep. When serving for guests. Right. You just cut it all up right there on the butcher block, slide it off right onto the plate. That's the way to go. Yes, thank you, Cue Ball. Please hit that like button. I do appreciate it. I do greatly appreciate it. Thanks, Alice. I've sharpened 2 knives now freehand. The first one came out sharp, the second one, and not so much. You know, you go through times where it almost, because, and I always advocate for this, make sure you're in the mood. Make sure you're relaxed, you're patient, you don't have nowhere to be. Never run into it like, oh, I have 30 minutes to be somewhere, or stressed out or pissed off. Don't do that. It'll just make it all bad. Sit down with an ease of mind and just relax and enjoy it, because you're going to have a better time holding your angle if you're concentrating on it, if your purpose is to be there with the knife, with the stone, sharpening, feeling good and enjoying it. So, you know, sit down with a purpose, like, you know, and take your time. Don't worry about rushing. Don't worry about nothing. This is the knife community. I must have missed that, Shane. If it's not obvious, freehand is like shooting clays to me. It's the zone. Right. Exactly. You definitely want to be in the zone. You know, and after so many times of you being in the zone, obviously you get better and better. You know, it's like riding a bike, you know, or anything else. You know, you wind up getting muscle memory and getting really good, and it winds up becoming like second nature. But that doesn't mean that even then, if you're stressed out, pissed off, fucked up, you can mess up. It's a lot of grinders talk about this too. Blade grinders, they say, like, if they're in a bad mood, or if they're not like wanting to do it, they won't. Because what'll happen is, if they're not in their zone, they will mess up the blade. So they have to go into it knowing, like, I'm wanting to do this, I'm happy, and, like, you know, they're in their zone. Hey, Maurice with the 5 bones. He's not a reviewer, he's just an enthusiast. Do not forget that. So when you guys leave him a comment on his channel, which, shout out to his channel, you guys can subscribe right here. Make sure you guys remember, he is just an enthusiast. So leave comments appropriately. All right, so let's get into some of these. Oh yeah, I got a where is it? Got it right here somewhere. I thought I had it right here. So I want to getting, because you guys know I have, here it is, the VOSTEED Nightshade, the new one, right? It's linked down in the description. You guys could get yourselves one. It's the new budget VOSTEED. Got one in black, one in gray, possibly one for one of the patrons. Awesome, awesome knife. Absolutely love this knife. But they have the deal if you get the Pry Bar. So I do have one of the Pry Bars here. So here, just to show you guys, this is the Pry Bar. It comes with, it's a full titanium Pry Bar. Comes with the clip. Awesome clip. This, I do kind of wish this was a little bit sharper. It is squared off just a little bit at the end. I mean, it's almost sharp, but it'll still work really good. Then you got the bottle opener, and they give you a little extra screw in there. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. It does have a reversible clip. I don't know why it would be a reversible clip either, because does it really matter what side? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, but you guys can check out the link down there. I do have, oh shit, you would have to go back to my because I just got the regular link down there. I don't have the code. I'm not sure if it's still usable, the code, but I do have a code. If you go to my Nightshade video from the other day, I have a $20 off if you get these two together, or you can get, I think, $5 off if you just get this. But they have other stuff, chef knives and stuff like that. Really good chef knives, by the way. I really like their chef knives. Badass chef knives. Good quality. I've been very happy with their chef knives. I've been using one for a while now. One of my favorite chef knives. Jim Q says, I should have a Demco 20.5 K110 coming in. Not sure which shape blade, though. Getting my Carta scales and a deep carry clip. Did you, you guys said you got my Carta scales? I wonder where you got them from. I was going to say, with any of the Demco 80 20.5s, use my my original GOAT link down in the description. You can get the titanium ones. Same thing with the big dogs, the 80-20s. If you got an 80-20, use my link down in the description. They have all different kinds of patterns. I got some coming, so. Joe, what's up, Joe? So, Jared, I'm going to ask you again. Have you sharpened the Miguron yet? I'm curious about their M390. We sharpened this in the, was it the last one? The last Bang Gang live. We're actually going to talk about it. That's the dual grit or dual angle edge part of the live we're going to talk about. I did use this a bit, and yes, I have sharpened it, but we're going to talk about that here in just 1 second, Joe. So just give me 1 minute. I got to warm up to that one. Or you know what? Screw it. Let's just get right into it, and then we'll go to the next subject. So if you guys remember, in the Bang Gang, or for those of you that are Bang Gang members, we sharpened this with a dual angle edge. Now, what's a dual angle edge for those of you that don't know? So those of you that don't know, it's where you do one angle on one side. Like in this case, we did like a 20-degree angle on this side. Maybe it was like 22 degrees. And then we did like a 10-degree angle on this side. Now, in other times when I've done this, because I've done this before, if you have a knife that's thick behind the edge, which this isn't super thick behind the edge, but I've taken other knives that were really thick behind the edge, poor geometry, and I did this type of edge on it, and it made not only the sharpness like massively increased, but the cutting performance is like 5 times better, like dramatically better, okay, or different. So I decided to do that on this one just because I wanted to, right? Now, in the other cases where I've done it, the edge retention seemed like it got better, better than it was, okay? Now, is that scientific? Is that proven? No, right? Not at all. It's happened to me before, but I haven't done it enough to say, you know, without a doubt that yes, your edge retention will raise. I haven't done a controlled test, and I haven't done it on enough knives, enough steel, enough this, enough that. Well, I did it on this. Now, I did not have a controlled test on this beforehand. I went from the factory edge to this. Now, what happened? So I did start using it, and it actually had a bad effect. So, and you know, I'm just being honest, right? I could lie and say it was great, but it wasn't. So the cutting performance, yes, the cutting performance was incredible. The sharpness was insanity. I mean, so damn sharp that like it's scary. Like it's almost too sharp. That's coming from me. Now, I don't think there's anything out there that's too sharp, but this was close to that. It was stupid sharp. But when I used it, what wound up happening, and this might not be because of the dual angle edge, it might have to do with the heat treat. Maybe I need to remove more steel. Maybe I'm not into good metal yet. I don't know, right? Because just because I laid back the angle doesn't mean I removed steel this way. You know what I mean? Which is at the apex. Like I might have removed steel back here, but I didn't remove it at the apex. So the apex might still be burnt a little bit or something. So I do have a little bit of microchipping right here. Which is where I was cutting at, right? I was cutting like this. And you can see you can actually see where I was cutting on the blade. You can see where the coating's coming off. Okay, so it didn't obviously increase the edge retention, and I did not cut with it enough to the point to where it should have started microchipping. Now, one of two things, either one or one of three things. Heat treat, the edge I put on it, burnt edge. I don't know which one. I'll find out through further testing. Now, my thoughts on their M390. So I have sharpened their other of their M390. 4 of their knives at this point, I think. 3 or 4, I don't know. I think. Anyways, and one in particular, I remember, it didn't feel outstanding. It didn't feel bad. It was just okay, right? It deburred just fine. The steel on the stone didn't feel like it wasn't super hard. It didn't feel, it just felt average. That was it. Like it wasn't nothing great, and it wasn't nothing bad. Now, does that mean that it's not going to have good edge retention? No. Does that mean that it's going to have bad edge retention? No. I don't know without doing a controlled test. But sharpening it, it definitely did not feel like something I would expect to have really good edge retention. Now, before we move on to the next thing, because that right there, what I just said, is going to bleed over to the next subject, which is going to be with Hinderer. The dual grind edges, I still do want to do more tests on them because, like I said, I've had really good results with other steels / knives companies, whatever. So it's something I need to continue on. And I think what I'll do with this is I'll repeat the same thing, do it again, because also when I did this, I want to be clear. The heel of the edge, it was the worst part. I didn't fit. I finished the edge, deburred and everything, but there was a little bit of cloudiness back here that I could have tuned up a little bit better and spent a little bit more time on the stone. So was it my fault? Possibly user error. Now, going to talking about the dual grit edges, I am going to continue with that with this one, and then possibly another steel, another knife, and because maybe M390 might not be the best steel for that. That is a possible thing. Now, I have a Hinderer here, 20 CV. Now, before I make this, you know what? I'll just say it, and then we'll talk about other knives. So I put a nice, beautiful edge on it. beautiful edge. We'll take a look at this beautiful edge. So I put a beautiful edge on it. If it'll show up. It was a mirror polish. The steel felt good on the stone. Did not feel bad. Felt great. Deburred great. Everything went perfect. And it was incredibly sharp. Incredibly sharp, fresh off the stone. This is 20 CV. Now, I have more of their 20 CV. But this one lost its bite instantly. Now, I don't... I mean, it may be a burnt edge. I wouldn't really think so from these guys, but it's possible. It's possible. Now, other knives from Hinderer, they were fine. Like, they held their bite. Everything was good. So I'm not saying this is Hinderer. I'm saying this knife in particular, right, with a polished edge, does not want to hold its bite. With the first or second? I think it's the first edge. I lowered back the angle, put a great angle on it. There's no reason for this angle to not have bite. And it had a ton of bite from the start. I've used it a little bit. Not enough for it to have lost its bite to the extent that it has. But it's still very sharp. Don't get me wrong. It's still very sharp, but it has lost that crazy bite, that hair whittling bite that it had when I started, and I did not use it enough for it to do that. Not even close to enough. Like, if I would have used it maybe almost enough, I wouldn't even be questioning it. I'd just say I probably used it enough. But no, there's no way I used it enough. Like, I barely cut anything, and it lost its bite. So, and my other Hinderers with 20 CV does not do that. Like, I even have one that still has a factory edge, and the factory edge is amazing on it. It's going like crazy. It's been fine. I've had other ones that just went dull right away, and I had to resharpen it and whatever, right? This one, when my factory edge chipped and rolled. That's one sign, right? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying what happened. That's all I'm saying. And I'm still not even saying it's bad right now. I'm not trying to like say that. I'm just saying what I'm experiencing right now. So I had some chipping and rolling. You guys might have seen the picture where I said I chipped the edge on it, and I think I had it in a video or something. Was that my fault? Maybe, but it happened. Then after sharpening it, I put a nice, beautiful angle on there, nice mirror polished edge. Now, some would say, why'd you put a mirror polished edge? Why don't you lower the grit? Well, that's probably what I'm going to do next, right? 20 CV has the potential to do great with a mirror polished edge. I've got a bunch of M390 and 20 CV with mirror polished edges that do amazing. So now there is the potential for M390 and 20 CV to not. Now that's usually, from my experience, it's usually when it's either one not maybe done as well as others, or maybe a little bit on the softer side. So I'm gonna possibly redo the edge at a lower grit and then see how well it does with that. And I thought about doing a polished edge first again, and then just, you know, maybe it had a burnt edge, give it another shot with the mirror polished edge, and then drop it down if it doesn't work. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still very sharp. And what I'm talking about with bite is that significant bite you feel when you touch your edge, or the hair whittling, you know, when you can hair whittle, the shaving sharpness. Like, it still shaves hair, but it doesn't have that where it just like, where it almost like just melts hair away. It just doesn't have that like it did. And it should still have it, even from the little tiny bit of cutting I did with it. So, is what it is. So we will see how that goes in the near future. Now, let's see what you guys are saying, and then we will go to the next subject. Maybe we'll stay on this one if you guys got some questions. My ZT0562 went dull pretty quick, and that's 20 CV. I put a 19-degree mirror, and it's holding up well. Nice. You know, and there's times where like it just needs to be sharpened a couple times. You'll get into good steel and everything will change. Like I can't tell you how many times like the steel that I had, or the edge that I had when I first sharpened it compared to the third edge I had on it, like just night and day difference. Like even the way it felt on the stone. Now this stuff felt great on the stone. Did not feel bad. Nothing felt bad. Felt great. Deburred great. Everything went smooth. And that's why I had high hopes for it. I really did. Because I actually had low hopes for it when I had that chip and that rolling. But I was like, maybe it's just a burnt edge. And that was a factory edge. Now, does that make me dislike this knife anymore? If it does, like, so let's say it's not the best. I love this knife. I absolutely love this knife. The only difference is I'm going to put a medium grit edge on it with the same angle I have on it. And that will be able to hold bite as long as I need it to. I am, because this knife is great in a lot of ways. Like the fit, the finish, the toughness, the build quality, all of that good stuff. Yes, the heat treat is the most important part. But like I said, with a medium grit edge, I will get by great with this thing. I was hoping I could do a mirror edge on it and, keep it going for a while. But hey, you can't win them all. Joe's got a package. Hey guys, if you get crazy moments with my name attached, it's not me. Some hacker is fucking with me. Happens to me too. I am ball deep in M4 now. 2 shamans and a BGM. Someone likes their M4. M4 is good shit though, so can't be mad at that. Everybody's leaving. Everybody's got packages coming. Kyle's back. He's back. Who else did not realize this was a knife channel until Shane pointed it out? Me. Thanks, Shane. My 0562 doesn't hold the best edge or best ever. Yeah. With ZTs, it is kind of hit or miss. It really is. I've had some of the worst stuff from ZT, and then I've also had some really good stuff from ZT. Now, the last few that I sharpened from ZT that was newer was actually pretty good, or at least it felt really good. Everything went like so much better than the stuff I've sharpened in the past. I mean, like way, 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 way better. Some of the edges I've done in the past, like had deburring issues. You could feel how soft it was on the stone. Like just every which way was not good. The last few that I've sharpened that were new though, were great. Felt really hard on the stone, deburred really good. Everything went super smooth. Q1 Fiend. M4 is really good stuff. I had always ignored the tool steels, but M4 won me over. Man, I love tool steels. And, I was kind of that way for a little while too. Like, not that I was ignoring them, but I just didn't have enough of them. But then after getting experience with them, man, I love tool steels. I wish I was balls deep in J-Lo. I was just over at Metal Complexes and a question was posted that he felt you could best answer. What is the best angle for most knives? 17 degrees. 17 degrees, and the reason why is because you're going to get there always is the question, what do you want? All right. If you're looking for extreme toughness while also having a sharp edge, 20 degrees, 20 to 22 degrees. That's going to give you the most amount of toughness with decent cutting performance. But you're not going to have the edge retention, nor the cutting performance, nor the sharpness of a lower angle. Now, if you want a balance, like a happy medium where you can get the most sharpness without losing the most toughness, 17 degrees. 17 degrees is going to be a great balance. So it's still going to be plenty tough for most things, but your edge retention, sharpness is all going to go up. Cutting performance, all that stuff is going to go up. Now, when you start dropping lower than 17, that's where the balance goes off and you're going towards more sharpness and the toughness is going down. So, but yeah, 17 degrees on most knives for most people. Now, like I said, if you are looking for more toughness and you want a little bit higher, most factories come at like 22 to 25 degrees per side. And the reason why is because they know people are stupid. Not stupid. Let me be clear. They know people are tough on their knives. Don't mean stupid. They know people are going to smack staples and hit things and do dumb stuff. And they don't want them chipping and rolling their edge. So, and I should say, and if you did want such a low angle, you could do it yourself, right? You can get it sharpened still. So instead of them giving you a low angle and risking you chipping your edge, right? They just give you a tough edge. You can lay it back if you want it. That way they're not removing steel that you might want, so on and so forth. So I understand why factories do their angles the way they do. Some angles are just way too high though. You know, like when they start getting up like 25 to 30 degrees per side, like, you know, over 25 degrees per side, even 25 is too high for me. But you know, 20 to 22 degrees, that's great. Spydercos do a great angle. They do a nice low angle with a micro bubble. So just getting into high-end knives, S45 versus M4. So, I mean, S45, So I haven't tested like a ton of S45. You know, I've tested it and I like it. I like quite a bit. I don't think it's that much better than S35. I think it is better. I think one thing I noticed significantly different is that it takes a better polish. But versus M4, I mean, it's just preferences. Both of them are phenomenal steels. You really can't go wrong with either one. M4 is a great steel. S45 is going to be more stainless. What's good, my guy? I want that nightshade, y'all. Well, right down in the links, VOSTEED. Check out the VOSTEED link. They still have some. They're going to have another drop of some, too. I'm here too, Byron Kennedy. What are you guys talking about? All right, so Dave says, well, I got my first Spyderco in S110V. Owned it 3 days, dropped it, and dropped it, and tip broke off. So I did some research. Yeah, so that's S110V for you, though. Super hard steel. It is not a tough steel. That is a steel that will chip. It will break. You don't want to drop it. That is for cutting purposes only. You don't want to smack staples with it. But if you're doing just hard use cutting, meaning cutting straps, ropes, cardboard, and nothing else, and you're doing a lot of cutting, it holds its edge for a very, very long time. Cue ball in the building with 5 bones. I mentioned this in my 6-month subscribe message, but don't think you can see them. Congratulations on 190K, Jared. Amazing what a year can bring. Thank you, Cue Ball. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, man. It's crazy. We're about to hit 200K, and we are going to have to do a massive giveaway. Now, the thing is do I do the giveaway on the regular channel? I was gonna because it was a big mile marker, but I think I'm just gonna do a massive, massive giveaway to the patrons. Hear me out, guys. Hear me out. Every single time I do a damn giveaway, people don't claim them. I have to do more. It happened with the last one, right? It happened with the last one. Not only that, I get scammers in there that are getting people, which we do have a story about a scammer here in a minute, scamming the people in the comments. And it's so much. It's like, if they're patrons, I know they're legit. I know I can contact them. I know they'll get the package. I know all these details. So I'm probably just going to do it for the patrons, members, maybe both, or maybe just the patrons. I think a lot of the members are patrons too, but it's not hard to spend $3 for 1 month, right? You don't have to be a patron for 6 months to enter a giveaway. Just become a patron. If you're a patron and you decide you don't want to be a patron no more, that's fine. You can be a patron for 1 month. But if you do decide to be a patron, every month, like, you can spend as much as you want. You don't have to do $3. You can do $10. You can do $20. You can do $50, whatever you want. But the minimum is $3. So let's say you say $5, right? I'm willing to support Neeves Knives for $5 a month. Every month they'll take $5 from you. So, but then every month you are in a giveaway. All you gotta do is enter. So the video will go up on Patreon. You hit the link to make sure you watch it on YouTube. You make a comment on YouTube, because I can't pull the names to do a random comment generator. I can't do that through Patreon. I have to do it through YouTube. So you just have to click the link to watch it on YouTube and make sure a comment goes to YouTube. And that's it. And here it is. Thank you, Fiend. And that is the link if you guys want to become a Patreon. So just so you guys know, this month's giveaway is... what do we have? We're going to do a wee malice. Guys, I wind up giving away far more than I make off of Patreon every month. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be every month, but eventually I'd like to make money off of it. But it seems like every month we wind up doing that. So we have the wee malice button lock, brand new. And we're going to give away... a Setos, a CIVIVI Setos, and I haven't guaranteed it yet, but we'll probably give away one of the nightshades. So right there already, that's probably more than I make a month off of Patreon. But because we'll be hitting 200K, that has nothing to do with the 200K one. The 200K one is going to be something different. So, something a little different. I will give you 1,000 bones in donations every year, Doc. You're the man. You are the man. I can't tell you guys how much I appreciate all the donations and everything, because it's what keeps this channel going and makes it possible for me to do the videos I do and the tests I do and everything we do. So I greatly appreciate all the support. And Maurice, you have been a huge supporter, and I do appreciate it. Luke says, can you wait a week or two before you reach 200K? I want to get you something, but had to buy a new battery for my car. I'll tell you what, man. You can just spend it on the car. I'll try to slow them down. I'll try to slow down the subs. I can't guarantee anything, but it's all good, man. I understand. I've been there, man. Trust me, I know. And you know what? I'll save it for story time. I'm going to tell a story about a scammer. How's my day been? Not too bad. Where's the wackety song police? What a name. How do you feel about BD1N? To me, I mean, I don't know. It's okay. I've had it, plenty of times. It's okay. To me, it's like a budget steal. Low mid-grade steel, high budget steel. So it's not nothing bad. It's easy to sharpen. It's not very long lasting edge. It's okay. It's just okay. Yes, please wait. My boss fucked up with my last paycheck. Jared, I can't afford to support you financially, but I do support you emotionally and love you and care. These streams make my week. I appreciate that, man. Hey, That's enough for us. That is enough for us. Just hit the like button and we're all good. Come and join me for some lives and hit the like button. I'm happy. Do you? No, you pay to be a patron or a member. Yeah, so if you're a patron or a member, they're separate. A member is on YouTube. A Patreon is through Patreon. So you have to pay for both of them. Only a couple. 3, I think. 3. I'll probably get more in the future. I almost bought one a couple weeks ago, and he asks me, how many butterfly knives do you own? I think I own 3 butterfly knives, but I was going to grab one a couple weeks ago. I didn't end up doing it, but I'll wind up getting more in the future. I'm not like massively into them. I do like them from time to time. I just, it's not my preference with folders. But I still like them. It's not that I don't like them. It's just, even OTFs. Like OTFs. I love OTFs, but they're not my preference. They're not my first pick. And going into that, we're going to talk about Gent Knives. Now, I want to ask you guys something. So, a good while back, I did a video. I think it was 10 Gent Knives or something like that. And I got reamed in the comments, particularly by one guy, and he wasn't being a dick or anything, but he did school me. So after the video, or in the video, I kind of said, like, I know most people, when they think of Gent Knives, they think of slip joints, but I know everybody's different, right? My Gent knife might be different than your Gent knife. Your Gent knife's different from this guy. Some people they like to dress up and go to the shop, or they like to dress up and go to the club, or they like to dress up when they're going to weddings, and whatever their dress up is the style of knife they carry. And everybody's going to be different. So my Gent knife might be a titanium frame lock. This may be just a little bit smaller, but it looks badass and really nice materials. Somebody else's might be a drop in the bottom of the pocket because they're wearing a suit and tie. Fiend with the 5 bones. Remember to give 10% to the big guy. Dude, you're awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Got to get that 10% to the big guy. I actually said it in Mike Emler's, we'll go back to my subject, but in Mike Emler's live today, because I did a live with him, I told him like that, I try to do my part. I always try to do it where I put in as much as I can, and so that people are willing to support, right? I can't expect anybody to support if they don't see me putting in a lot. And I explained like that, I just recently lost hundreds of dollars on a video that I was planning on doing, and it's probably going to be a loss. But regardless, even other videos, like where I try to put in as much as I can, so that people will do their part with supporting, right? I have to do my part. And so I do appreciate it massively, because you guys know I definitely try to do my part. But anyways, Gent knives. So, do you guys think that a Gent knife has to be a slip joint? Because this guy, and like I said, he schooled me. He went in on me. And at the end, I was like, hey, man, you're right. I'm wrong. You win. And the reason why was because he basically said, no, a Gent knife can't be anything but a slip joint. The reason why a Gent knife is a Gent knife is because it stands for a gentleman knife. It's something that a non-threatening man will carry. What is a non-threatening knife? A slip joint. And it's made for a guy who's going to be going to a place where he can pull his knife out in front of grandma or a little child or the old lady down the block or a wedding or something, and nobody's going to think anything about the knife he pulled out of his pocket, because it's a gentleman's knife, which it takes 2 hands to open, non-threatening, drop at the bottom of the pocket, that kind of knife. That's what a Gent knife is. And I was just like, it sounds good, so I was like, hey, you're right. I just personally at the time didn't carry slip joints. So me doing a Gent knife video, it just didn't make sense for me to do slip joints because I wasn't carrying slip joints. And a Gent knife to me, when I'm dressing up in a suit and tie, I'm still carrying, whether it's a suit and tie or a button up and some jeans and some nice boots, I'm still carrying a damn locking knife. Salute the knife sergeant. To me, a Gent knife can be a small, elegant looking knife, not just non-locking. I have small customs I'd consider to be a Gent knife. See, that's the way I look at it too. Maybe it's still non-threatening, right? It's obviously not a cold steel espada, but you know, maybe it is something that's a little bit more premium to you. It looks really nice. It makes you feel good, and it's still locking. A Gent knife doesn't have to be a slip joint, but I would say in this case, size does matter. Facts. Appalachian 2 in carbon fiber and Damascus. Nice small knife. Bang. So that actually is going to lead to the next 5 knives I'm going to show. So is it a pen knife? Not necessarily a pen knife, but you know what? Let's pull up 3 traditional Gent knives. So we have one here, which I did link these guys down in the description. I'm sure you guys seen it before on my channel. This is a Trivisa slip joint, M390 steel. This does come in different versions too. They have bone ones, and they have the wood ones, and then they have multiple different blade shapes. I have the drop point blade, or spear. It's drop point, but it's somewhat of a kind of a Spanish drop point in a way. But anyways, it's a drop point. Nice and easy pull. Like this one's definitely the kind that you could give to somebody that has maybe pinching issues or strength in their has lost strength in their fingers. This is very, very easy to manipulate, as you can see, which is what's beautiful about it. It's really, really smooth. Titanium bolsters. It's a titanium with wood, M390. And technically, I heard that MBK designed this. So, next one would be a tactile bear. That feels so good. In Magna Cut. Beautiful titanium. Clip point. Titanium. Mega, mega thin. And then last we have the new, by the way, I got this pouch from OCD for EDC's website. The Midnight Jack by Jack Wolf Knives. There is a new Jack Wolf knife coming very soon. Possibly my new favorite, because finally we got a spear point coming out. I'm not saying it is my favorite yet, but it just might be. Now, this one has the strongest pull out of all 3 of those, but great walk and talk. Anyways, now I'm not saying those aren't Gent knives. Obviously they are, but a little bit more of my style of Gent knife, I guess. Well, I guess not technically my style, but what could be considered Gent knives, right? Because what I consider a Gent knife might not be everybody's style, but these might be considered a Gent knife. Now, here is a titanium frame lock, real steel Luna Boost with a removable thumb stud. Focus. Titanium. Super solid. It is on washers. Very, very smooth. Not fall shutty at all. And you can take off the thumb stud and make it a 2-hand opening knife. As it does, it just pulls right off the top. You can see the screw head right there. Very thin, very slim. It does have a titanium milled packet clip. I love it. This could be considered a Gent knife to some people. The little baby Banter. Something small, fifth pocket, goes right in the fifth pocket. It has a little pop of color. And we got JD for EDC with the 5 bones. There's an entire company pretty dedicated to modern traditionals with 90% of their line being gents. Hell yeah, man. Hey, thank you for the 5 bones. And hey, shout out to JD for EDC. Go and follow his channel. He uses diamonds for sharpening and ceramics for hones. Somebody asking me a question. Are those quick studs from Cole? On this, no, this that came with the studs. This you can buy with the knife, and it's for the knife. It slips onto the fuller, so this actually goes with this knife. You can buy them separate. I think it's like $10 more or something. The Baby Banter. Titanium hardware, titanium thumb stud, deep carry clip. Comes in a ton of different colors. It's just a little compact, little badass little knife. Love it. Another one. The Beglighter 2. Absolutely love this knife. This one's an M390 hollow ground spear point blade with a titanium frag with a milled titanium spring clip. Stupid smooth. Now there's all different kinds of these. Like here, I have another one. I thought I had one right here. Maybe not. Oh yeah, right here. I do have a fat carbon fiber version somewhere, but here's my aluminum version in 4V. Love this knife. This 4V, man, it's held up really good. Stupid good. But that's another one that could be considered somewhat of a gent knife, right? Another one, the Pena Mini Apache. This could be somewhat of a gent knife. You can put this right, even if you're wearing a suit, you know, titanium milled clip. It's kind of small. It goes right against the leg, you know, your pant leg or whatever. So it's not going to ride around everywhere. Compact little 3-finger knife. You know, even at some place, you know, if you pull this out, it's not going to scare nobody. And I'm not saying your knife can't scare people. Now, another one, really quick. The CIVIVI, what is that? Appalachian Drifter or whatever the hell it's called. This is a 100% gent knife to me. This is a modern, traditional gent knife, in my opinion. You have modern action with the reverse flick off the fuller, or you can flip it like that, or you have the top flipper. Clip point, hollow ground blade, beautiful grind. This thing is so thin behind the edge. I'm going to check the thinness right now because now I'm curious. What is it behind the edge? 15 thousandths even after sharpening. Micarta carbon fiber, deep carry clip, full bolster, liner lock, badass little knife. And it's a locking knife. That's a true gent knife in my opinion. The Finch knives, yes, those are great. My favorite's the Harvester right now. One of my favorite gents knives is the QSP Mustang, an M390, and has mammoth molar inlays, but lately been rocking the rock wall. I have not seen that QSP Mustang with mammoth. I need to check that out. Maurice says the Buck 252 is his jet knife. Dave was asking about stones. Can you ask it again? I'll see it this time. JD for EDC, Finch knives, forgot their name. Finch knives are great. Like I said, my favorite is the Harvester. Man, that blade shape just works so good. If you guys haven't seen it, I did a full review on it. What a badass knife. And yes, and it's still a gent knife, but a hard worker. It's a work knife and a gent knife all in one. Jared uses diamond stones mostly. Yes, I use diamond stones mostly. I have probably 100 different kinds of stones. So there are times where I will use natural stones or aluminum oxide as long as it's a super simple steel. But for the most part, I use diamonds because diamonds works on every steel. And most of the steels I deal with are mid-grade to high-grade steels. So a majority of them are high carbide steels, so you need diamonds for that. Now, for regular mid-grade steels, which do have carbides and everything, they still work great for those too. For budget steels, diamonds still work great. But in some cases, an aluminum oxide or maybe a natural stone might be the better option if you're talking about chef knives and things like that, especially if you want certain types of edges and stuff. But I love natural stones. I love them. Absolutely love them. They're just not great for a lot of the steels I do, and they don't cut fast enough, which diamonds do. So diamonds are what I use the most. We actually unboxed a diamond plate at the beginning of this, a 300 grit ultra sharp. I have them linked down in the description. Just hit the link for ultra sharp, and you will see 3 plates, 2 plates, 1 plate. There's all different kinds of sets. You can get a 3-plate set, a 2-plate set, a single plate. Ultra sharp diamond plates are the ones I recommend the most, the absolute most. They're the most affordable and the best quality for the money. Mammoth molars. Yeah, I need to check that out. Is it real mammoth molars? Damn it, Breeze, knock it off. Blades and Fades. Shout out to Blades and Fades. Definitely go and check his channel out as well. Same thing with Shane Gables. I know he's in here. Shout out to Shane. Go and sub to his channel. Fucking Jewel. So let's talk about what was it? Oh, damn it. Nah, fuck it. I'll talk about something else. So, you guys seen the video on the ALTUS? This thing was sent to me by somebody in the community, and I'm very thankful for that. These scales are absolutely amazing. And the company that does them, Unlocked Composites, they have other scales as well they do other knives as well, Benchmades, different CIVIVIs. So if you guys have a CIVIVI, like the CIVIVI Conspirator or Chevalier, he makes scales for those too, and they're only like $30. They're USA made, great quality. My bag spacer didn't wind up working out, but that's okay. The scales they're so beautiful. They literally look like rattlesnake skin. If any of you have ever seen real rattlesnake skin, that's what it reminds me of. It really does. But really good quality, and man, it makes this ALTUS feel so much better. Not that it didn't feel great before, because it did, but now it's on another level. Yeah. Is there? What are you watching? There's a link to Blades and Fades. I guess there was a membership I missed. Somebody joined a membership. I guess Kara's saying I missed it.
Fear to Doom gifted 10 NEEVESKNIVES memberships.
What?
That's a huge deal. That is a huge deal.
He gifted 10 NEEVESKNIVES memberships?
Yeah.
Beard of Doom? Shout out to Beard of Doom. Donated 10. What was it?
NEEVESKNIVES memberships.
Donated 10 NEEVESKNIVES memberships. Holy cow, man.
Like he gave one to Kyle. He gave one to
That's insane.
Chicago.
Man, shout out to Beard of Doom. That's amazing, man. Wow.
Woo! Can I get a
Woo!
woo?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Holy cow, man.
Get a woo.
I did. I went, woo!
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. Holy cow. Yeah, that's huge. Holy shit.
Shout out Chris for texting me and letting me know.
Sit. Oh, thank you, Cue Ball. I didn't see it pop up on here.
Are you on StreamYard? Because
Yeah.
I think sometimes the membership things don't show on that for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why, but anyway.
Doom is awesome, man.
Kyle's a member now.
Yeah, Kyle's a member now. We got 10 new members. Damn, that's nuts, man. I see it. He did that earlier in Mike's live too. He's dropping memberships like dollars. Thank you, man. Can't see it on StreamYard. Oh, you can't see it. Well, that's why I usually have this on rolling just in case. No, I got it over here. I'll just play it over here. Thank you though. I'm gonna pop this up just in case if something like that happens again. And Blades and Fades has been a member for 6 months, man. Just seen that pop up. Shout out to all the members, man. You guys are awesome. Damn, that's crazy. Thank you, man. Holy cow. That's badass. So, we were going to talk about some other stuff, but you know what? I think we're just going to shoot the shit from here out. Let's do really quick. Let's talk about the scent of the day. So, the scent of the day is for men only. I mean, like real men. Now, do not be scared of the bottle, because the bottle, don't pay attention to the bottle when you think about this scent. The bottle and the scent do not make sense together, okay? Holy cow. Bald Assassin with the 20 bones. Thank you, man. Holy cow. We just got a super sticker for 20 bones. Man, hell yeah. Thank you, man. 20 bones. From Bald Assassin. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. So, the scent of the day is Club de NIUT Intense Men EDT. Specifically the EDT, not the EDP. So, don't look at the bottle, guys. Get off the bottle. I know you guys are looking at the bottle saying that looks like some beta shit. But just because it has diamonds on it, this is a super masculine scent. The bottle, it looks a little feminine, I know. With its neck chain that doesn't move. But it smells very, very similar. Almost identical. Like literally, like to me, I wouldn't even be able to tell the difference probably. But to Creed Avantis. If you guys don't know, Creed Avantis is like, it's expensive as shit. Like hundreds of dollars. I think it's close to like $400. This is only like $40, $30, $40, something like that. It's very, very affordable. Let me see exactly how much it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's like 34. You can check the link. I got the link down in the description. It's super affordable. It's like the 10th of the price of Creed Avantis, but exactly the same smell. And from reviews I've seen, people prefer this over Creed Avantis. Now, I'm going to give you the breakdown of it, but you might not want to pay attention to the breakdown because the breakdown really doesn't explain the smell. And I'm going to explain the smell. What? Can I get to it? Okay, I will. Okay, so the top notes are lemon, bergamot, pineapple, black currant, birch, rose, apple, jasmine, musk, patchouli, and then the bottom notes are jasmine, musk, patchouli, vanilla, ambery. But the only difference between it and Creed Avantis is this has lemon in it, and Creed Avantis has oak moss. I think that's the only two differences between them. Everything else is the exact same. That's why they smell identical. So, what does it actually smell like? It's a very masculine smell. This is not like a sweet smell. It's nothing like that. It's you have lemon in the opening, but then it's very piney. Like it almost smells like pine needles. That's what I would say it smells like. It smells like damn pine needles. Now, some people love it. Some people not so much. The people that love it go crazy over Creative Vantis in this type of smell. Like I said, it's a very masculine smell. It smells like a man, but in a very piney, lemony way. Kara went crazy over it. I mean, absolutely nuts when she smelt it. Now, she did the same thing with Creed Advantis when I let her smell it. I wasn't a huge fan of it. She fucking loved it. Now, some people say that men love Creed Advantis more than women. Some people do say that. Now, I've watched many review breakdowns of this, and a lot of women love this. A lot of men, too. So, it's either your style or not, right? Now, like I said, very masculine, has a lemon opening, and then pine needle. I guess that's why, you know, the pineapple and all that stuff in it, the apple, the rose, the birch. I can see the birch, the musk, a little bit of patchouli, and the black currant, but between the rose, apple, jasmine, and pineapple, I just don't smell it. Like I said, it smells like you take a bath in pine needles. That's what it smells like. Now, I know that was the scent of the day. This is the scent of the day. Very affordable, too. But if you're a very masculine man and you want to smell like a masculine man, this would be the way to go. Now, if you want to smell a little bit more fresher, right? This one's brand new. I recently just got it. I haven't shown it on the channel yet. This one's a new Sauvage that I have. The Dior Sauvage EDT. I think it's the EDT. Yes, the EDT. Now, supposedly the EDT is the most balanced of the Sauvages. I personally prefer the Parfum, the EDP over the EDT. But the Parfum, the other one I have, the one I prefer a little bit more, has a little bit more spice in it. That's it. So this one has less spice. It's a very fresh. It has a lemon opening, citrus opening. Sorry, not lemon. Citrus opening with a very shower gel, fresh smell, fresh out of the shower smell, without the spice. Now, the EDP has all of that with a good spice on the top, which I love. Absolutely love. But this one's a lot more expensive than this. Probably double the price. And then if you want something with kind of this, they're not similar, not even a little bit, but they still have that same fresh smell, fresh out of the shower smells, but with a little sweetness added to it. The YSL Le Parfum. I love this stuff. Absolutely love this stuff. Also linked down in the description. This stuff is amazing. Girls love it, like absolutely drop dead love it. And I think it's hard not to like this. Specifically the Le Parfum. You'll mess up if you like just go looking for this stuff because there's a lot of different YSLs. You have to get the exact one. This one's my favorite YSL right now. And then out of the Sauvages, my favorite's the Parfum and the Elixir. The Elixir is, I already explained that one, so we're not going to go into it, but it's like grape juice and black pepper. Anyways, let's get back to the show. Like I said, the full video of the fragrance video is coming very, very soon. I don't think I have any more fragrances coming in at the moment. So, all right. Oh, that smells so fucking good. Holy shit. Jared, whatever happened to you reviewing work boots? So I stepped on a knife. I almost cut my foot in half. So I had to put the boots on the back burner. How can I review boots when I can't put them on? So I can now, I'm just starting. I've only been putting on boots for a few days. So I'm back reviewing boots now. I have a couple different pairs that I'm testing. But after I got injured, there was nothing I could do. How can I record anything if I can't even put them on? I didn't have anything recorded. I couldn't test them. And I'm not going to lie. So with those videos, I want to make sure I have a bunch of B-roll of me wearing them and, using them and things like that. And I didn't, and the B-roll I had ready is only from the brand new, you know, the brand new. I just freshly took them out of the box, so I couldn't just use that in a video. So now I'm back in action. I have the Rock Roosters coming, and then I also have a couple other ones coming. These boots are made for walking. Exactly. But yeah, after my injury, I got backed up on a lot of things. There was nothing I could do, you know. So I'm catching up, though, guys. I'm catching up. I know I've been backed up. And you guys know, man, when it rains, it pours, right? When it rains, it pours. Last night, I had a really good friend die. Like a really good friend, somebody I've known for most of my life. And it's a very sad thing. He's got a daughter, and my whole family, like it's a friend of the family, you know, so it's very sad, man. So, but like I said, you know, when it rains, it pours. So, oh, I got that. I got that. Like I said, I've been through a lot. Like I got probably every good, great men's fragrance right now. I've got every single Acqua di Gio. I've got the blue one. I got the Profundo. I've got the original. I've got them all, Big Daddy, all of them. My favorite is probably the Profundo, but I know the girls like the blue one the best because it's more of a blue fragrance, which is like a fresh shower gels type smell, you know, a fresh and clean type of smell. It's kind of a watery, citrus, fresh, clean smell. And the Profundo has that, in my opinion, it has a fresh, clean smell with Big Red on the top. If you guys know Big Red chewing gum, that's what it reminds me of. So it's a fresh, clean smell with a hint of Big Red on the top. That's what it smells like to me. It's great for like a in the office type of fragrance. It's definitely a fragrance you can kind of wear all year round. It's not specifically for the winter. It's not specifically for the summer. It just has a well-balanced smell. It's a really good one. I like that one a lot. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in my top 7. How do you decide what angle is best for a knife when sharpening? So there's multiple different things. So one, what are you doing with it? All right, what kind of knife is it? If it's for toughness, well, then you might not want a super low angle. But if you're wanting high levels of sharpness, cutting performance, and edge retention, then you might want a little bit of a lower angle. Now, depending on how thick it is behind the edge, the thicker it is behind the edge, the lower the angle you put, the better it will cut. But also, the bigger your edge bevel is going to be because it's thicker. How close is your choil? Are you able to put a low angle on it without massively destroying your choil? That's why I always advocate for good sharpening choils, right? If my plunge grind hits my edge, like this guy, right? If my plunge grind goes right to my damn edge, like on this one, it goes right to the edge. Now, if I try to lower the angle, it's going to give me a smile. So, and the lower the angle I put on it, the bigger the smile it's going to give me. So, those little factors. But like I said, a good roundabout angle is 17 degrees. I seen a super chat came in. I'm backed up, and Mike Emler's in here. Jeremiah Moses with the 5 bones. What's up, bro? Sorry I'm late, but I found out that my first pew pew was ready to pick up, and I can't wait to take it out and fire it a few. Do something kind for somebody. Good for you on the new pew pew. No, I'm not, Mike. I'm not. I just stopped. I had to go forward a little bit, so I'm just backing up and checking out some comments. Do you have anything that smells like gas? I have so many girlfriends, I'm trying to keep them away. Just use gas. I guess you got well, gas isn't going to be too much more flammable than cologne. Cologne is like 60 to 80% or 60 to 90% alcohol. Sheesh. I got a Tucson coming soon. I'm so pumped. I got one of the last ones online from what I could see. I need to get another Tucson soon. I was actually talking to somebody earlier about Tucson, and I I need to get another one soon. This channel convinced me to buy a Tucson TS226. The thing looks so sexy. Thanks for the recommendation. Hell yeah. That's badass, man. Yeah, and it wasn't too long ago that I got a Tucson. I mean, I just recently got two of them. One of them was a piece of shit, and the other one was good. But that one, the piece of shit one, and then what was it? The one before that one that I got also wasn't the best. So I haven't been on the best track record the last two Tucson purchases. I did get one good one out of the two purchases, but I can't let that, because 90% of the Tucsons I've gotten have been great. Well, 80%. However, there's like a dozen or so that are just like, they're fucking heavy hitters. Like they are like as good as RIATs. But then there's some that just are not the best. Now, if you can find those gems, it's like, it's a win. Like, it's like, holy cow, this thing is good. So you get addicted to finding those gems, you know? Gas. That's the truth. Holy shit, that's the truth. Why would I use gas? It's too expensive. I'm not going to waste it. That's hilarious. John says, what made those two bad? Is it just the model or the manufacturing? No, it was the manufacturing. The design was great. Amazing. No, Tucson did it bad. Tucson let it out the shop bad. So one of them had the worst detent lash, like so bad. Or just, yeah, detent lash. And I think that was really the biggest issue. Anything else I was okay with, but it was significant detent lash, which made it feel really bad, because when you close it, like it doesn't click into the detent. Like it would close and then like almost like, I don't know, like it was really weird the way it felt when it closed, like the way the blade would get sucked into the detent, because it wouldn't get sucked into the detent. So it just felt like really weird and off. Alice is a new member. Shout out to the Bang Gang squad. Did you see the sign at the shutdown whorehouse? Did you see the sign at the shutdown whorehouse? What the fuck? Do you think the Tucson's Cobra is a gem? Yeah. No, the Cobra's great. The TS190? Yeah, no, that's a great one. Now, the blade shape is it's not going to be the best for EDC, but if you like that blade shape, it is absolutely a gem. That is one of the gems, yes. The TS190 is fantastic. The problem is the blade shape is not the best for EDC. Now, does the blade shape work for what it's made for? Absolutely. I mean, it is thin behind the edge, a mega slicer, super comfortable in the hand. The action's great. The fit, the finish, it feels like RIAT made it. That's one of the gems for sure. But like I said, though, the blade shape, you've got to like a lot of belly. Shit, I used my TS129 so much that, man, my chair's starting to wiggle. I need to fix this thing. It's not great no more. I didn't even realize it. I wound up trying cue balls when we met up at the Blade Show, and one other person's, and both of theirs felt identical to each other. It felt like how mine used to feel. And when I sent mine to Lefty EDC, he was talking about how, man, it just doesn't, it feels like there's something off, right? Like it just doesn't drop. And it's because I've used it so much, it's just getting wore out. That's it. It's just getting wore out. So I want to get a new one. I'd love to get a new 129. So I'm on the market for a new Tucson TS129 because the one I have was amazing. It just, you know, after you've used them for so long, and I don't think there's really anything I can do. It's just starting to get wore out. Like the detent track, the detent itself, I don't know. It's just not as smooth as it once was. The detent doesn't click in like it used to. Just those details, right? Which can happen to a knife you know, that's been used a lot. I picked up a Medford today. Couldn't close the frame lock. Needless to say, I didn't buy it. Guy behind the counter went to work with some KPL with hopes and dreams. I'll tell you what works really good on a Medford is Slick 'em All. OCD for EDC, check out Slick 'em All. I'm not sure which Medford that was, but most of the Medfords are washers, and I'm telling you, Slick 'em All works on bearings and washers, which is really good. And it's like a goop more than it's kind of like the mixture between a grease and an oil. A really well balanced, and it's really, really good stuff. That stuff works incredibly well on Medfords. Like, I can't express that enough. So definitely try that out. But speaking of Medfords, I got the Smooth Criminal here, and we're going to talk a little bit about Medford while I have this out. One thing, I love this new finish that he's doing on his knives. Absolutely love this finish. Doesn't it just look sexy as all hell? Oh, the machine lines, the stonewash on the spine. You can actually, I don't know if it'll come over the camera well, but you can actually see like the satin finish on the spine. It looks so good. Awesome knife. I'm super happy that they tuned the detent on these. This thing has a stout detent. So good. Way better. The first one I tried, or actually two of them that I tried in the past, you literally had to go like this to get it to open. Like, the detent did not work. Like, you'd break the detent. This one I can't even fail, so I gotta pull it out. You'd have to get it out and then snap it out. Or you'd have to do like one of these finger motions where you kind of snap it weird to get it to fly. This one, you just break the detent, that thing snaps. Super stiff in a good way though. Great knife. Love the knife. Now, Medford 58 HRC Magna Cut. What do I think about Medford doing Magna Cut at 58 HRC? I think it's absolute garbage. Now, I like Medford knives. Nothing to do with Medford knives. Medford knives are cool. Love them. But all right, let me back up. Let me just give you guys my experience really quick with Magna Cut before we go any further, because I'm not a metallurgist, right? I'm not the guy who heat treats the knives. I'm not HRC testing them. None of that, right? From my experience, right? I got knives in that are at what they say are at a certain HRC. Now, when I test one and say it's between 62 or like 62 and a half to 63 and a half, and it's just amazing. I mean, just blows me away of how good it is. The way it sharpens, the type of edge it took, how it holds an edge, the way it deburrs, just everything I would want in a steel. Then I try another one, right? That's a slightly bit softer, right? Admittedly from the factory, and it's really good. It's still really good. Sharpens up really good, deburrs really good, takes a really sharp edge. Not as well as the other one, but still very, very good, right? Not as well as the other one, but still very good. The one thing that was different was it was a little bit softer, right? This one was the peak. This one was great, but not as good. Then I try another one, right? Sharpen up another one that's admittedly a lower HRC than this one. It's absolute dog shit, right? It doesn't sharpen well, doesn't deburr well, doesn't take a keen edge like the other ones. The edge it does take doesn't seem like it's holding well. It rolls really easily. It just nothing I would want in a good quality steel, especially if you're spending money. Then I try, other ones here and there, right? And it just seems that 62.5 and up is what you want. I mean, I could say 62, right? Because the one was like 62 and it was still good, right? It was still good. Would I have rathered have it 62 and a half, 63? Yes. So in that case, 62.5 in my opinion and up. Oh yeah, I left out. I also tried 64.5 HRC, and it holds an edge forever. Like, it just doesn't, you can't wear it off. wear it out. It feels like glass on the stone, like it just sharpens up so well. Deburrs like nothing. Like the burr just comes off like a wire. Like super easy to deburr, super easy to sharpen, takes a nasty sharp edge, and there's no give to it, right? Now, yes, that one's being at such a high HRC, obviously the toughness is going to be lower, right? But not to the point to where I feel like it's detrimental. Like I don't got chipping. I obviously don't have rolling, but I definitely don't have any chipping or any problems like that. No problems at all. Now, I'm sure maybe if I hammered it through a metal 2x4, yeah, it'd probably chip, but I'm not doing that. So I'm okay. Now, let's say that that's too high for most companies. They don't want to fuck with that. Okay, whatever their argument is. Okay, that's fine. I still think 62 to 63 is a good sweet spot that most companies can accomplish where we are getting the best of that steel. Now, 58 HRC, what Medford's talking about doing, I just say don't do it. Why even do it? I don't think there's a reason for you to do it at that point. Because I think your S35 VN will all cut it. I would put money on it. So in that case, why wouldn't you just do S35 or your S45 or any other steel that you're okay with doing that you think you could do well? D2. I mean, do your D. I mean, he likes D2. So, and he does a good job with his D2. Why not just do your D2? Like, I don't think there's any point to do a specific steel that benefits come out of certain, obviously he's already doing a good heat treat, so we don't even need to talk about that. When we're talking about the HRC, assuming the heat treat's already really good, why even do that steel if you're not going to hit the steel at the HRC that's going to be the best for the majority? And I don't think it's going to lose toughness to the point of which it's going to hurt anybody or hurt the steel at all. But like I said, I can only speak from my experiences and the things I've tested and what I am getting from MagnaCut. Now, if anybody else has a different experience, I'd love to hear it, but that's been my experience. Hey, OCD for EDC's in the house. We were just talking about you a little bit ago. Well, at least we were talking about Slick 'em all, which is basically OCD for EDC. They're one and the same. But yeah, I don't think, I think that I watched his video, right? And he's not comfortable with it. If he's not comfortable with it, that's fine. I can't argue with that. If you're not comfortable doing it and you're not comfortable with it being a certain, that makes sense. I'm not a heat treater, so it makes perfect sense to me, right? I'm not even comfortable fucking heat treating right now. So, I don't heat treat things. So I can't argue with him about that. And if you need some experience with it and you maybe down the line, you'll raise it, then cool. That's fine. But personally, if you're not comfortable with it right now, I would say don't even sell it. Run it at your 58. See how it does for you. Maybe if they were smart, they would do like other companies and send it out to people to test. Send it out to actual knife reviewers that will fucking test it for sure. Send it out to them, see what they say, right? Send it out to people. Make 5 of them. Send it out to 5 different testers, see what they all say. That's what I would do if I was him. Rather than running a whole line, which I know is a limited run and all that, and then selling them to people that are going to get dog shit steel. Maybe they're going to buy it no matter what because it says MagnaCut, but just because it says MagnaCut doesn't mean you're getting good. Like, when we've seen this already, right? We've seen MagnaCut already. That's not great. And then it gets shit on by the community when it just could have been done better. But anyways, enough about that. Andy, you were gifted a channel membership for a month from Beard of Doom. Shout out to Andy. He got his month of membership. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Yep, you are a member now. Shout out to Andy for being a member, and shout out to Bearded Doom for gifting it to him. We got a lot more members now because of Bearded Doom. Camel says, same reason why people buy a new 1,000-watt PSU when they'll be fine on a 600-watt. He's having War Page at 62, so he's trying to figure it out. And, you know, I don't, like I said, I don't blame him for trying to figure it out. Figure the shit out. I just personally wouldn't be selling it until I did. Personally, maybe he's figured out like that 58 for him, they're fine with it. And maybe to him, like, that's okay. I just personally, as somebody who's tested it, and listen, I could be wrong. Like, maybe I would get his and be like, damn it, he did something magical with this stuff, and it's 58, and it feels better than all this other stuff. That could happen. I'm not saying it couldn't. Just from my experience right now, from the data that I have, from the testing that I've done, that would most likely not happen. Could it? Maybe. And if it did, I would admit it. Like, I'm not, you know, wanting to try to hang on to something. I'm not going to die on a hill. Like, if it happened that way, I would 100% say, man, this, whatever they did something great with this. And I don't know, you know, but so far, I haven't had that experience. So far, all the experiences I've had negative has indicated that it's come from it being under 62 HRC or lower, right? You know, like, obviously the lower it goes, the worse. Damn it, I'm busted. I didn't say that out loud. There have been no 58 HRC MEDFORDs. They're at 60. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm speaking from what Medford said. Of what he's going to run his Magna Cut at. I haven't seen any Magna Cut from Medford. I'm just saying what he said in his video. I watched his video. I'm talking about his video. Chuck says, Jared, that Magna Cut Pro Tech you sharpened for me is still screaming sharp. Nice. Hell yeah. I'm about to test out this stuff. And Erica said I can sharpen it as much as I want and test it as much as I want. So we'll see how that goes. I have high hopes. You know, I love hope. So I want nothing more than this thing to be badass. And I've heard good and bad. So who, you know, and it could be one of those situations where some of their stuff is great, some of their stuff's not. I don't know. I'd also love to try Chris Reeves Magna Cut because I heard they're doing it at 63 to 64, I think. Woo-hoo, I'd love to try that stuff. Story time. All right. So first of all, we got to get Shane's cousins out of here. Shane's cousins showed up. Your workers showed up, Shane. Thought you left them at work. What the hell's going on in here? Is there a way to post a picture on either Patreon or member chat? I was wanting to post about the knife meetup. Is there a way to post a picture? Well, I can't on Patreon. Patreon's separate from this. Patreon has nothing to do with YouTube. That's a different thing. For the memberships, I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest. I don't think so. I think anything you can post, we have to give to you. If you send me a link, or you know what, you already sent me a link. I'll tell you what. Give me 1 second. I'll pull the link up that you sent me on Instagram. How about that? OCD for EDC. 10 bones. Here's a little cash for the next Pizza House run. Hey, when you coming back, man? And hey, you're not supposed to be paying me back for that shit. But I'll take the 10 bones because I can't give it back now. But when are you coming back up? So because I got a different place for us. I got another place we're gonna go to. I'm gonna plan something real nice like. Okay, so let me pull this up really quick, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Let me pull up my Instagram. Find the message. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so here it is. See if I can share screen, Chrome. All right, let's do this. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you guys can see that. So there you guys go. You guys can read that. Knife Friends and Family, Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina knife meetups. First, knife meetup. All knife lovers are encouraged to come hang out, meet others in the knife community, possibly buy, sell, and trade some knives. Sales are allowed and encouraged. Small EDC companies are encouraged to bring samples of their products to both sell and show. Some food and drinks will be provided, family and pet friendly. Damn right. There will be door prizes. No shit. Sponsors: Al's Hills and excuse me. Al's Hill and Accord Paracord Crafts, Matt Maiden of Ganzo Reviews on YouTube, location and time. You guys can see the address. I can't even read all the other stuff. It's way too damn small for me right here, but I'm sure you guys can see it just fine. Hopefully you guys can see it. So yeah, badass. Let me see. Okay. September 3rd, 2022. Oh, wait, no. Saturday, September 10th from 12 to 6. Saturday, September 10th from 12 to 6. Awesome. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it, but now that I know about it, I can at least start to plan it or figure out if I can. So I'm going to go to story time. Just wanted to go over well. I've had several knives donated for door prizes and want people to come. Well, I'll keep shouting it out. I'll try to make it. Let me see what the schedule's like. And maybe we can come up with something. What I think about, and I just think about the recession we're going into, and I know how it's going to hit a lot of people, including myself. So even right now, they were just talking about, I'm probably going to lose probably 30% of all my revenue because ad revenue, nobody's going to be doing ads anymore. Not anymore, but 30% of all the ads are going to go away because people aren't buying shit. So if people aren't buying shit, they're not going to continue to run ads on people's channels like mine if we're going through a recession. So that's going to, that'll hit me really hard right there, not including everything else. If people aren't making, you know what I mean? So I think about all that stuff. But I will seriously try to make it. I will look into it more and try to figure it out. Try to move some monies around, figure it out. Maybe sell a couple things. Pair 2 dumps all over pair 3 and knees that got me pregnant and left me. Well, hey, you ain't lying. All right, so this story really quick is about a scammer. I was going to tell a different story, actually. I was going to tell a story about me getting the fuck out of Dodge. But in this, we're going to talk about a little story about this scammer that tried to and listen, guys, before I tell the story, listen, I'm very fully aware that the whole thing is probably a scam and it doesn't matter to me, right? It doesn't matter. The point is that you guys know the scammer that maybe you guys do or don't, but I've had a scammer in my comments telling people they've won giveaways, right? You've won this giveaway. And then they have my thumbnail with a phone number next to it. And people have been text messaging the guy, and we already know the spiel. You text message him. He says, send me a screenshot of you winning to verify as soon as you, because remember, they send it to so many channels and so many things. They're not even sure who, like what you think you won. You might think you won a dildo and he thinks you won a knife, right? They have to know what you think you won. So you send them a screenshot, then they'll know, okay, this was on a knife channel. So they think they won a knife, right? And then they already have my information written down. I'm Jared Neve, whatever. The one guy asked him, like, what's your name, right? And he came back, Jared Neves, right? My name's not Jared Neves, it's Jared Neve. Right? So that's an indicator right there. I don't have an S at at the end of my name. It's just an E. Anyways, so we decided to contact him. So I took one of your guys' messages from that he messaged on my videos and then pretended to be one of you guys. Screenshotted it, sent it to him, as verification, because I knew, that was going to be the next thing. Send me a picture of the verification. So we did. And then we talked to him for a second. And, obviously he's a scammer and I know it because I'm fucking the guy he's claiming to be. So I just told him, like, basically, like, listen, I know you're probably in a fucking shitty spot. And I know you probably are, because I know, like, the majority of these people that are doing this are in third world countries, are dirt fucking poor, and are scraping by just to eat. Right? They have families to feed just like us. They're poor as shit and don't have nothing. Right? Like the poor, what you think of, is probably pretty rich compared to them, right? To some extent. Some of them, probably not all of them, but a lot of them, right? So just basically messaged them and said, listen, man, I know you're scamming me, or you're scamming my people. And I'm sure you're not well off and you're probably struggling pretty hard. And I'm sure you're doing that. And, instead of scamming my people, right? If you knew me and my channel better, you probably just could have came to me. I probably would have threw you a few bones instead of you trying to scam my subscribers. And he admitted it. Right? He admitted it, came out and apologized. And and like I said, this whole next part could be a spiel. Let me just be clear that I was already prepared to send him some money before he even said this, right? And I knew he was probably going to come up with a spiel, and I honestly believe him to some extent. I told him, I said, message me on Instagram. He did. He messaged me on Instagram. I got to see his face and everything. And it seemed like a legit page, right? It'd be hard to put together a page like that, that quick. Anyways, gives me a spiel that, him and his sister live together and, they're struggling like crazy. I think he said something about his sister being sick or something, maybe, but just basically scraping to get by, and he's responsible of his sister, right? It's not just him. He's responsible of his sister. I don't remember. I think he might have said something about his family dying or something. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he didn't say that part. Maybe I just imagined that part. But anyways, but since I told him that I would do that, right? I figured, it wasn't no loss to me, really. I sent him a few bucks, right? Sent him a few bucks. Said, hey, stop scamming my subscribers. I hope this helps, right? Because regardless if the story was a scam, I didn't really care, right? I have no doubt that he's not struggling to some extent, especially when you see the country he's from, right? The country's in. And I know where I've been, and I know the struggles I've been through, and I know some of the scams I've done, right? And I know how much, even though I was being a shithead, when things can basically save you, right? And even though it was only a few bucks, that's probably 2 weeks' wage to him. I don't know. I don't know what the money, translates over there. But regardless, it's something, But I have no doubt that you're not going to still see scammers in there because there's so many different ones. Like, I've blocked and reported probably 100 of them, and they continue to just do the same thing. I know it's not the same person. So, but anyways, you can't have empathy for scammers, meh, and no. Well, it's not about that. It's That's like saying I couldn't have empathy for myself because I've been there, right? I've been there. I've done some bad shit, right? And, you know, I probably wouldn't even be here if people didn't have sympathy or empathy for me. I think people, most people are not inherently bad. And I think that people that don't acknowledge that, a lot of them have never been through shit. Right? Because I guarantee you right now, if I took fucking everything from you and put you in a situation where you had to take care of your child or another family member and you had nothing, I promise you, you would be stealing things off of a shelf, trying to get food, you know, scraping by, showing up to, you know, I could name a whole list of things that you would do because I know because I've done them, right? Just to survive. So it's people don't realize what they'll do until they're desperate. You know, like anybody can say what they wouldn't do when when they're not there, right? A lot of people talk about like, oh, I've been poor, I never stole a thing. Well, then you weren't fucking poor enough, because I fucking promise you, you would. I promise you. Anybody who says they wouldn't is a liar or just has never been into that deep. You know, I I listened to this girl. It was a few weeks ago, and she was talking about starving, right? Starving, and I thought it was so funny because at the end, when she was talking about her starving, she was in college starving, and I had to laugh about it because it's like if you're in college, you don't know what starving is. Like that doesn't make sense. Somebody who's actually starving doesn't get to go to college. They don't get to go to college. They don't get that because they have to leave school to work to provide food for them and their family, right? If you're in college, you're already not start. You know what I mean? Like that just doesn't correlate. You're in a food line, right? Like I guess if she said that I was in college and I was starving so bad, I had to start going to food lines and things like that. But that wasn't the story. The story was like that she just wasn't eating really good while she was in college. But it's like people that are actually hungry aren't hungry for a week. They've been hungry for 6 months, fucking scraping by. In food lines, showing up at churches early in the morning, you know, or on WIC or, you know, food stamps, eating the same fucking thing every week and week out because, you know, you only get certain things from the food line. Like when you get too desperate, you're going to do things. And I'm not saying that guy's there. I don't know. So, but if I had to put money on it, I would guess that he's probably in a situation similar to some extent, especially in those countries, right, where there is no infrastructure, there is no work. You know, you're eating dogs and stuff like that. I would say the Predator. Man, that's tough. That's tough. They're both really good. They're both really good. It's been a while since I've had the terminus in my hand. Man, it's tough. I think the blade shape on the Predator is better. So I'll say the Predator just because of the blade shape. Oh, thank you, Cue Ball. There's a link, guys. Go and support Alice. And then you guys can also get more information on that meetup. Jared is right on this. Fortunately, I've never been there, but would likely do the same. Anybody would. Like I said, anybody would. Like if you're gonna tell me right now, like put it this way. Let's just put it this way. Let's say your child is starving, right? And is like beyond starving and is crying and hungry and you have nothing to give it, right? You've been trying to give it water. You can see it's malnutrition. You can see the bones in your child's body because they're so fucking hungry. And you see a store and you know there's food in there. You know there's fucking food in there, right? Are you going to, but you don't have a penny, right? Nobody will give you a dime. You've asked 100 people. Nobody has change. Everybody's poor. Everybody's poor. And you know, you can walk in and grab a bag of chips. You're not going to tell me you're not going to do it, or a can of food or something, right? And you know you can get away with it. You know you can just grab it, put it in your fucking shirt, and walk right out. Not a problem. You know you do. Of course you're going to do it. So shut up. You're going to do it. If you wouldn't, then I feel bad for your daughter, right? You know, like, of course there's things you can do, like, oh, well, I would just go and mow somebody's lawn, right? Or I would go and tell a person, hey, give me a can of food and I'll do this for you. I'll clean your bathroom or something like that. That's fine. Like, of course, everybody does that. They go through those steps. You go through those steps, but it gets to the point to where you run out, right? That's what winds up happening. You do that but you wind up doing everything to the point to where now you don't have nothing left. I don't have this to go do. I don't have that to go do. You know what I mean? Because you wind up using that money on stuff, like gas, other food, whatever. Car breaks down, getting a new tire, and it gets to the point to where you run out of options, because remember, you have to eat every day, right? Or at least every other day, every couple days you have to eat. So it winds up getting tough. So, I have empathy for those people, for sure I do. As I've been there, if I hadn't been there, I wouldn't, but since I have, like, seriously have, like, I remember going into a place, it was a Dollar Tree, and stealing boxes of cereal, right? I had a coat on, and I remember doing it because and you would think, like, why would you steal that, right? Well, it's because it was the easiest aisle to grab something off of at the time. The other aisles had, like, people working and things like that, and it was the best deal. And it was a couple other things I had too, because I had a big coat on, but it was off of pure starvation. That was it. That was all it was for. Pure starvation. And I grabbed a few things and walked out. And you're to the point to where you're almost delusional, right? You're going to do just about anything. You're almost willing to get caught. Love your ways. Never been a time more than acts of kindness are needed. That's facts. That's facts, James. Thoughts on Cktg diamond plate paste? I don't know what that paste is. Cktg. I don't think I know what that one is. I have Venive diamond paste. I have I can't remember the name of it. I have another kind of paste, but it's not diamond. I think it's aluminum oxide. I had the Gunny juice is what I always recommend. The Gunny juice shit is phenomenal. It's the best stuff in my opinion. I've tried the stuff from another stuff that's really good actually is if I could remember his name. He does kangaroo leather straps. I can't think of his name right now. Was it Urban Edge Leather or something? Urban Edge Leather? I think it's Urban Edge Leather or something like that. He's in Australia. He makes pastes, and then he also does kangaroo leather straps, which are really good. Kangaroo leather is really, really tough. It's really strong. It's like the strongest leather. Anyways, but the Gunny juice is the best. It's linked down in the description. If you click the link, you'll see all the different microns, and you can pick which micron you want after you click the link. Also, being really poor for a little bit builds good character. It can. I think it definitely makes you more humble when you've been through shit. But that doesn't give anybody an excuse though not to go get it. You can't fucking use the excuse that you can't do stuff like of course I can have empathy. Of course I can look back and see bad times, but I also knew how driven I was, right? Like I remember when I was on probation still. When I was on probation from doing bad shit, I had to find a job, but now I'm a felon. And I literally had to walk so many miles looking for jobs with just every door being slammed in my face, every door. But I was relentless, taking buses and buses and buses, running out of every penny, and then having to not take buses because I couldn't afford the buses no more, to just one job after another. And everybody just turning their backs on me, calling and doing all the online stuff. I'd go to every damn meeting or whatever it's called where you go in and, you know, try to get the job. Did all kinds of those, and every single time I can be waiting and like be hopeful. And then finally I fucking wound up getting a job finally. And then I wound up getting a different job and upgrading from that job to a different job. And then I wound up going back to that other job because both of those jobs wound up taking me, right? But you got to be relentless. You got to be driven, you know, fucking willing to work hard. Like I always, you know, tell people, you know, be the hardest worker. Be the hardest worker. You know, if you want to stand out and be the best, then do the most work. Be the hardest worker. Be the best at whatever you can be. Be driven. Don't have excuses. Don't let things stop you or slow you down. But yeah, of course, there are times and situations where shit just fucking hits you. Or maybe you did stupid shit, you know. I mean, it was both. So, you know, and it does happen. But try not to let it be an excuse, and go and get it. Grind. Work as hard as you can until your fingers bleed. Currently shopping my pair 3 lightweight, and it works fine for me. Gunny juice smells good, but it makes my tongue numb. Yeah, I bet it does. It probably scratches the top of your mouth too. I have a first run Nimble and a Nimble X. Maybe next drop. I think that the pre-orders are going right now for the new EMPs. Gunny juice is worth it just for the smell. The Gunny juice? Or are you talking about KPL? Because KPL is the one that has the good smell. I got some Gunny juice. Oh yeah, you're talking about the pivot stuff. So the smell does smell good. It smells like vanilla. The KPL smells good too. I personally, as far as the lubrication goes, you can tell I haven't even barely used this stuff. The KPL is far better. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. KPL is way better. It smells good. Yeah, it smells good, and it works even better. Now, the Gunny Juice stropping compound is the best stropping compound, in my opinion. Where the hell are we at? Looks like we got Shane's cousins in here again. Yep, go to handling school. Damn right. Get your ass to handling school. Slick 'em all is the best, though. Slick 'em all. Yeah, we were actually talking all about that earlier. I see a comment. Food for the meetup will be hot dogs, baked beans, coleslaw, mac salad, and chips. Sounds like a damn good meal to me. Hey, Jared, absolutely right about not making excuses for not finding ways to succeed. What are you flipping this evening? Well, I've been flipping a couple different things around, but I was doing the voodoo. Some amazing action. This thing is so amazing. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love this. And you know, one thing I realized with this, when you reverse flick it, it actually feels like because you're in this hole, and behind this triangular thumb stud, you actually feel like your finger is in a hole. Literally. I even told Kara that. I said, reverse flick this. And when she did, I said, doesn't it feel like you're reverse flicking a Spyderco or something? And she was like, holy shit, yeah, it does. Because it does. It really does. It's crazy how good these thumb studs are. Every angle gives you a perfect leverage point to flick. It's so good. I'm surprised. Like, if you guys remember the this guy has something kind of similar. Now it's not as good. I'm just gonna be honest. It's not as good, but it has something similar, which is the petrified fish, whatever the name of this knife is. It has something similar. So you get a similar effect with these thumb studs. Now, they're not as good, but they're still really good. Now, you're not going to get where it feels like your finger's in a hole because you don't have the actual hole underneath the thumb stud, but it has a similar effect where you can flick it from any direction with your finger and it's comfortable and you have a good leverage point. All right, got to catch up to the chat. Advice for felons. There's a career path not many know about called NDT, non-destructive testing you can get into. You can make solid money, lots of opportunities, and not many know its existence. I've never heard of it, so I'm I'm curious what it is. There's a lot of things. Like, this is the thing. There is a lot of things. You have to be willing, like, to work your way into other work, right? So, like me, I had to go find an under the table job from a business that was, you know, a regular business. And it wasn't that I wanted to be a paid under the table, but you know, he's less likely to care about, and also because of who he was and things like that, it made it where he didn't give a fuck, right? Like a lot of construction companies, they're all felons that work for those companies. So, but I did not want to do that, to be honest. I wound up doing it after that, you know, because it was something I could do. But the point is that at any time I could have went and got a job. That was the thing. But it would have been for companies and around people that I was trying to stay away from at the time. So, and I was trying to stay out of the areas I was in before and everything else. So I was trying, you know, to do really good, and doing that made it very difficult, you know? So, but yeah, you can find little things, like find something small, something where somebody will hire you, right? It might not be the best money, but you can work your way up to get to someplace else and then make more money, and then someplace else and make more money. And as long as you're willing to save and scrap and invest and flip and all that stuff and do it legit, man, you can make it. It just takes a hustler's mind. You got to have that hustle mind. You got to have that drive, and you got to be willing to be tougher and stronger and work harder than everybody else. If they're waking up at 6, you wake up at 4. If they're working till 6, you work till 7. If they're willing to carry 3, you carry 10. Like, just do everything possible to outwork everybody around you, and don't let anything be an excuse. No excuses. Like, if you have an excuse, you got to come up with something in your mind that calls yourself a bitch, and literally talk to yourself like that. Because, you know, if you have that mindset over so long, it's impossible for you to fail. It's impossible. And you got to keep that motivational mind speaking, you know, like when 10 places turn you down, don't let it get to you. Don't let it get to you. Don't walk in expecting them to turn you down, though. You walk in expecting them to give you the job. You got to talk to them like they need you, like you're the best guy for this job. And if they do say no and they do turn you down, obviously don't just walk out with your head between your legs, you know. Try to work it out, and if it doesn't work out, you know, keep that motivation for the next place. Because I'll tell you what, that was one thing that did get me. I wound up getting determined, not determined. Like, it took the determination out of me, because when you walk fucking 10 miles, 20 miles in a day, and you get turned down by 50 places, or I don't know how many miles, 20 miles, whatever, you know, so many miles that your fucking shoes are falling apart, right? And those are the shoes you need to find a job with, right? Because that's what was happening to me, literally. I'm not joking, not exaggerating at all either. Like, my shoes were falling apart, and like, these are the shoes. And luckily, when I wound up getting this other job, for the construction, I took the first check and like wound up like because me and Kara were kind of working together, but wound up going and getting a decent pair of boots. But it was just to get me to a good pair of boots. Like it was a cheap pair of boots, but that pair of boots was just to get me to a good pair of boots, knowing this pair of boots is only going to last about 30 days. So I got 30 days for these boots till they wear out to get me some good boots. And like that's the way my mindset was. And you just got to keep that motivation, you know, of getting better and better and better and better, hitting targets and just not slowing down. And if you keep that energy, man, it's like it's very hard to stop somebody with that type of mindset. When you are that determined, when you are unbeatable, unkillable, you know, it's very hard to keep you down. Now, when you get a mindset of which is very I want to say like just pussy, but when you keep that mindset where you're a victim, then you're not going to succeed. You will not succeed in anything. And nobody likes that shit. So don't get that mindset. You got to keep that winner mindset. One hand closing the beast is dangerous for me. It's already drawing blood. Hitting targets. Yeah. And plan your targets too. That's another thing. Plan the targets. When you plan the targets, you can execute them far better than if you don't even have the targets in mind. Right? If you're just thinking like, okay, I'm going to do this and then work to the next thing, right? What's the next thing? And then what's the thing after that? Right? Don't think in a 1 week mindset or a 2 week mindset or even a 3 month mindset. Think in a 1 year, 2 year mindset. Right? What's your goals? What are you hitting? What targets are you hitting? Josh says, Bald Assassin, easy money too. And the assassin that used to come x-ray at the shop could only work for so long before needing time off. And he says, after 3 months recovery from shoulder reconstruction surgery, say I need another one. This is what happened when you work and play hard and then get old. Oh, man. Trust me, I know all about working fucking hard and getting old. Like, I grew up in construction, man. Like, I was having problems at a young age. Like, I remember my first back injury when I was 13, and I was bedridden for, I don't know. It was like, I was like completely bedridden for like over a month. It wound up taking 6 months until I could walk like really good again. But yeah, like, I sprained my neck one time. Fucking Breeze remembers that. I fell through a fucking roof at the shop. Tore all the skin off my back. Wound up looking right for 2 weeks. I couldn't even look straight. And that was when I was like 15 or 16. But yeah, I mean, bloody knuckles and calluses and blisters on the feet. I know all about it, man. I did that shit for over 20, 25 years, from 10 years old all the way up to 30. I quit doing construction at 30, 31, something like that. Maurice with the 5 bones. Harry Truman tried to give me a haircut. My shoes are in the gas tank, and some people know a burger is not forever. My car has a speckle band, and that is a quote from Maurice. Somebody write that down. A Maurice quote. The best quotes ever. Absolutely. Gotta love them. Jared, did you hear the Jake Paul Rashawn fight is canceled? Yeah, I don't know what to believe, man. I watched their whatever the fuck where they were talking shit to each other, and I thought it was gonna happen, man. I was all pumped, and now I hear it's getting canceled or something. I don't even know for why. I don't know. I don't know if it's just all hype and it's a planned thing and they do this shit on purpose. I don't know, man. Took me 35 years to find a way to make good money without giving up my back. Yeah, I had I mean, when I chose to get out of construction, it was a few different reasons why. I mean, I chose to get out and then I had to go back. And then I, but with a plan to get out still. And I actually got out earlier than I thought. I wound up quitting that job because it almost killed me too many times in a row. My boss was, he was going off the rocker, like, mentally, and he almost killed me a couple times in a row. And the last time I just said, nope, this is the last. Like, it was way too close of a call, and the response in his face was, there was no response at all. So I knew he wasn't mentally there. And it's like, this guy is going to kill me and he won't even know the difference, because he was like going senile. And everybody else I worked with all spoke Spanish, did not speak English at all. I'm the only person who speaks English. So it made it very difficult to work the jobs. I'm the only guy who speaks English. The boss is senile, and everybody like, it was very difficult. It was a very, very grueling job. And I did it for the money. And the second, like, I just got out, like, after, like, I don't remember how long I was doing it for, but I wound up getting out of it earlier than I planned because of what happened. But yeah, it gets to the point to where, man, or the reason why I really wanted to get out. Sorry. The reason why I really wanted to get out was I always kept having this memory of my uncle screaming 50 years to me, because when we'd be on the job site building houses, you'd get hurt, right? Like, you'd smash your finger with a hammer or something, right? Shoot yourself with a nail gun, whatever, right? Something painful. And he'd scream from across the job site, 50 years. You're going to be doing this shit for 50 fucking years. Like, and he was trying to tell us, like, you don't want this life. Stop it. Go do something different. But that's all we knew, that's all we grew up doing was construction. So it was just natural, normal. I knew from a little kid, I'm going to do construction. That's what I was going to do. That's all I knew. So, but after, dealing with that for a while, like, when I was getting off probation and everything, and I was having the choice, like, do I go back to construction? I would constantly play that sound of my uncle saying that, and I would think, like, do I want to go back to that, or do I want to find something different? And I said, I got to get out. Like, I I don't need to die in early age with back problems and no knees, and I fuck that. But so what we did was not union. You don't have union breaks. We used to make fun of those guys. Not saying there's anything, I'm not making fun of them now. I'm saying that's the way we would do it. I'm saying what we did was probably very abusive. But, at union jobs, you get breaks and all these other things. Tri-State, shout out to Tri-State EDC. I seen he just recently hit a mile marker. Congratulations to him. Jared is officially a YouTube influencer. Oh, shit. It feels weird when people ask, what do you do for a living? Knives. When they start asking how, it's like you just want to stay away from saying, well, I'm a YouTuber. Oh, man, it sounds so bad. Breaks are for losers. There you go. Breaks are for pussies. That's how it really goes. Cue just steroid spine injections for me and building back strength to be able to lightly walk again with pain. Wishing you the best. What happened to cue ball? I didn't see. Can't find it. Oh, I wish him the best too. Cue ball's a good dude. Camel with the 5 bones. Really inspiring story. I love that positive mindset and being the hardest. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And shout out to another new member, Steve. Thank you for joining the Bang Gang squad. And Camel, thank you again for the 5 bones. I do appreciate it so much. And yeah, I think everybody, men, need to stay hard. I think that's partly the reasons why I think some of our society is going down the way it is because men are not being hard enough. I think it's a whole rabbit hole I could go down, so we're not going to go into it too deep. But I think a lot of us are getting entirely way too fucking soft, and it saddens me. I think it's probably partly the generation of men because for letting that happen, right? It's definitely the men's fault, right? That's it is the men's fault, so don't try to blame it on anybody else. So it's up to us, right? It's up to us to make the kids tough or not, right? If they're pussies and they're running around like betas, then that's our fault, and especially what they inspire to be. I only take a break when I'm on the verge of passing out. Take breaks sometimes, though. Definitely. I mean, I encourage everybody to work as hard as possible, but I also encourage you to be the best you can be. And I say that in the sense that the healthier you are, the better and stronger you can be. Whether that is rest, whether that is whatever, right? You do want to take care of yourself so that you can outwork everybody. It doesn't do you any justice if the guy who is taking care of himself winds up outworking you in the long run because you break, right? So, take care of yourself, right? Like a well-oiled machine. Facts. Men are women when they want to. Everyone knows that. Thanks for getting me back in the hobby. Just got a petrified fish. $8.38 on sale for 20 bones. Nice. That's actually one of the knives. Well, not that exact one, but the petrified fish. I forget the name, man. What is this one? The PO4. I think it was PO4. I'm so blind, guys. Yeah, the PO4 with the goofy thumb studs that work really well. Facts. My son is getting the same treatment I did as a kid. It's good. That's good. That's great. Me and Kara have talked about it, like when we have kids, like she already knows like how I'm gonna be, and she knows like to not get in the way of that, right? Like I won't get in the way of her being a good mother. Don't get in the way of me being, the type of father I want to be. And that might take some pain. In a good way, though. In a good way. I'm a good trainer. Hard times make strong men create good times create weak men create hard times, and the cycle continues. Yeah, but it's like, I think also what we make inspiring, like, think about this. Remember when we were kids? I don't know. It doesn't matter how old anybody's in here, but you remember Rambo and like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator, you could even say Batman, 007, like all these like alpha males, right? Like you'd watch it as a kid, no matter what generation, right? But you watch those men as kids and you were like that's what you wanted to be, right? You wanted to be ultra masculine, strong, unbeatable, like a rock, right? even like other shows or whatever, right? You didn't look at the weakest person in the show and say, I want to be him. No, if you had to build an avatar right now, right? Any kid, building an avatar, nobody picks, right? Everybody would pick the strong one, right? The fit one, the this, the that, whatever, right? It seems like even now, like some of the shows, like it's like they're weaklings. They don't seem like they have feelings, and they have this and they have that, and it's like when I see it, I literally, all I see is what's that word? Oh man, I can't think of the word. Subliminal messaging. That's all I see is subliminal messaging everywhere. And it's for the bad, not for the good. Even when it comes down to like being proud of like your country and things like that. And, regardless of lies or not lies, like just being proud of your people and, freedom and things like that, and being willing to die and fight for it. And like all those little things, like, I don't know. I could just think of so many ways how we could have evolved better, and it just seems like we evolved in the opposite way. And you can see how. Like through the shows, the movies, schools, this, that. Like you can totally see the projection of how we got here. And it's just weird, man. It's so weird to me looking at it and watching it and seeing it. And now when I watch shows, like it's difficult for me to even watch TV or anything like that. Like, it's all I see is the subliminal messaging and the wokeism or the this or that. Like, and it's just sad to me, because it's like I think about the generation it's making, and I think about how bad it is for everybody. Because when you take the men out of society, you collapse it, and when you weaken the men, you weaken everything, the infrastructure. Like that's our job. That's our duty. Our duty is to build society, right? It's to build society and make the next generation strong. And it's it's bad, man. I don't blame men. Most people have been programmed. The attack on men is part of their plan to destroy the family. They want us to depend on them. Right, exactly. But that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. You can see the programming. That's what I mean. Like, you see the programming. But I blame it on the men that allow it. I blame it on the men that raise the families that allow it. I blame it on the boys that are raised by the men. I blame it on, you know what I mean? Like, who else does it fall on? Right? I hold myself accountable every chance I can. And it has to fall on them. Right? We're the ones who build society. We're the ones who work the roads. We're the ones who move everything. We're the ones who drive the trucks. We're the ones doing it all. So how can it not be on us? Right? You can't build society and have society rely on your strengths and then not say it's not your fault when society ends up bad. Like, and I'm not saying that their influences aren't there. Of course there are. Of course there are. But where were we when it was projecting and happening? Where were we to say this is not how it should be, right? And then check this out. It doesn't matter how the programming is if you have a man in the home programming you, right? If you're being programmed, like I'll tell you this, man. With my dad, it would be impossible for me to be programmed by society in a way that would make me like that. It'd be impossible. There's no fucking way. I'd have been slapped up. There ain't no way. But, not everybody's going to have that. And a lot of boys don't have fathers. So, the more, and like you said, the more fathers out of the home, which is what they want, the more you can, mold society how you want and make them more reliant. But we're getting way too deep into the weeds, guys. Let's get out of here. Jared isn't just talking shit. He's a legit savage. Thank you, Shane. Love you, brother. My 8-year-old son has learned to ride motorcycles, run a backhoe, boxing, skiing, chess, reading, not much screen time. That's amazing, man. I'll tell you what, I did every single thing you just mentioned by the time I was 8 years old. Every single one of them. My dad used to drive me to school on a backhoe. I'm not lying at all. I'm not exaggerating, not even a little bit. We'd be driving literally through the projects on a backhoe, dropping me off to school. Maybe not when I was 8. Not saying I wasn't on the backhoe when I was 8, but at that time when he dropped me off at school on the backhoe, like I remember he picked me up from high school one time on a backhoe. Oh man, there's Brian. Transparent Knives. Shout out to Transparent Knives. Definitely go and follow him on Instagram. He's got great content. Always has great information you guys can always listen to, and keeps you up to date with different things. He tests different things, and he definitely opens up your mind to think about different things. He's so smart, and yeah, I can't get enough of Brian, listening to him on Instagram and reading some of the things he says and some of the conversations he has. Amazing dude. I get you, Jared. I'm probably the youngest one in this stream, and I don't understand my generation. It's no longer the birds and the bees. It's the bees and the bees and the birds and the birds. That's a fact. Yes! Okay, I'm scrolling down right now, so I'll get it. I'm just high up on... Wait, did I just pass it? Where is it? Oh, there it goes. Jim! Thank you for the 2 crackers. Thank you for the 2 crackers. Recommend a 3-inch max double detent no lock. Tucson makes one. $100. So there's this one, man. I don't want to recommend that one. I don't have a lot of double detents. The one double detent I have, I probably wouldn't recommend, but it's only like $30 anyways. I'm sure somebody in the chat could recommend something though. But the one I have is this one. It's decent, but it's just 8CR. The CRKT Symmetry. It's like $30-something. It's awesome though. I mean, it works great. It's a front flipper. I mean, it's very fidgety. Nice and thin. The clip works great. But it's not close to $100 though. It's only $30. Hollow ground, drop point blade. Nice and thin. Very fidgety. But it's a double detent. Very slim. I normally don't recommend too... Well, CRKTs, man, they got a lot of great designs. And this is one of them, man. If this was in premium materials, whew. But yeah, I think things are going to start turning around to some extent, though, guys. I really do. I think there is... I don't know if any of you guys watch, but, man, there's a lot of man channels popping up. There's a lot of people, I think, seeing what's happening, and they're stepping up. I honestly I see so many channels popping up. Yes, some of them are silenced. Yes, some of them are hindered, but they can't stop them all. And they're on so many different platforms. I truly see a lot more spaces for the tough that are encouraging the same behavior I'm saying. And are trying to teach it. Like me, I never knew anything else. I never ever knew anything else. Like, to me, you never had an opportunity to not be tough. Like, you either were tough or you weren't surviving. Like, especially around the people I was around. Like, so, but anyways, I think that, I hope that we're going to be able to turn it around in a good way, and that we're going to see what happened and realize, like, this is why we have to keep doing this, right? This is why, because of these times. Look at what happened. And it'll be inspiring, and hopefully men keep encouraging good behavior, obviously vote correctly. But besides that, you know, be the men that run society, right? Be the men that teach society, run society, and encourage them, but do it in a good way. Don't do it in a way that makes them not listen to you. Be the hero. Be the guy that the kids want to be, right? Be the guy that the teenagers want to be. Be the, you know what I mean? If you don't look like the guy or act like the guy that the teenager wants to be, then how will they listen to you? So do it by doing it yourself, right? Be the guy that the same thing, like, you know, the same thing that's coming out of your mouth. Be that fucking guy. So if you can't be that guy, then it's probably not best for you to say it to them, right? So be the fucking hero. And if you can be the hero, you can definitely help save the day. If we all get together and do the same fucking things, how can we fail, right? Whew, that stuff smells so good. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. I love you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for all the donations. Shout out to the Patreons. We have an awesome giveaway coming, and damn it, we're going to have a good one at 200K. 200K is right around the corner. We're getting over 20,000 followers per month, so we should be at 200K in approximately 15 days if things continue to go the same way it's been going for the past month. I can't say if it will or not, but we're projected to hit 200K in 15 days. That's a projection, though. So we'll see how that goes. And hey, we got this giveaway we're going to do first. We're going to separate that from the 200K giveaway because we want to make it badass, right? It's 200K. It's a big fucking thing. Also, shout out to the Bang Gang Squad. Not this weekend, obviously not tomorrow, but next Sunday, because we got a lot of new members in here, right? The new members, the Bang Gang Live will be next Sunday. Also, shout out to everybody who likes the video. Little subtle hint. Thank you for you guys for hanging out with me. I love you guys. Peace. I am not a vet. No, I am not a vet. Veteran of the streets. No, I'm not. Good night, guys. I love you guys. Much love. Salute. Thanks, Alice. And hey, everybody, go follow Alice on Instagram. Go follow Alice on Instagram so you can keep up to date or actually get more information on that meetup. It would be awesome to actually do that meetup. That would be really cool for all of us to go meet up. Wouldn't that be cool? So definitely go follow Alice on Instagram so we can possibly get that going. I know I'd like to do it. Later, Breeze. Love you, cuz.